Yeah, good morning everyone. Boys and girls, all the 10th class students, you are successfully completed 9th class last academic year. This academic year, we are going to start online digital classes for social studies. So, first of all, I congratulate to all who are entered in 10th class. Okay, this is a very pandemic situation, COVID-19, very severe in Cherial town. So be careful, wear mask compulsory and use sanitizer. Wash your hands on every 30 minutes. Okay, be careful, especially for boys. Most of the students are roaming on the roadside. I have seen several times. So we observed. So many students were roaming onto the road. So while you are walking on the road or going outside or a shop, you must wear mask and come outside. So be careful, students, especially for boys. I think girls are in home only. Okay, listen carefully. Right, we are coming to the lesson, social studies. Okay, first chapter is India relief features. So we have many lessons. Uh, Geography and economics one, paper one. History and civics, political science. It is in paper 2. So first paper 1, we are going to learn. First chapter is India relief features. So in this chapter we are going to learn about the India. So already we know about the India. So relief features, physical features, the physical divisions of India. So Indian climate system, where is India is located, the location of India, where is India located. So what is the climate of India? The complete river system, how many perennial rivers, how many Himalayan rivers, how many like a peninsular rivers, perennial rivers. Perennial means, so throughout the 365 days, flowing of rivers, flowing of water, complete Indian drainage system. Indian drainage means not for the drainage. Drainage means complete river system. Northern like Himalayan rivers. So which rivers are originated in Himalayan mountains? Which rivers are originated in Western Ghats and Eastern Ghats? Okay, perennial rivers, non-perennial rivers. Perennial rivers means 365 days flowing of rivers. The rivers are called perennial rivers. Non-perennial rivers means even seasonal, when the rainy season time, when the due to heavy rains the water is flowing. So that is non-perennial rivers. So in this chapter we are complete information we are going to learn this chapter. So first let us learn about the location. First we want to know about that where is India located on the globe. Where is India located on the world? First we know that complete identification and location of the India. India is located, all of you listen very carefully. India is located, so already we studied in the 9th class what is latitudes and longitudes. Do you know? Latitudes and longitudes. Okay, right. So where is India is located on the globe? India is located 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude. Do you know latitude and longitudes? Horizontal lines on the globe is called latitudes. Vertical lines on the globe is called longitudes. Do you remember? Yes. Okay, right. So 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude to extended up to 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. India is located, the accurate location of India 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude to 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. Do you understand what I am telling? Right. See, 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitudes to east longitude 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitude to 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitude. Do you understand? This is the location of India in the globe. Okay, India is located in the northern hemisphere. When you observe in the globe now, so India is above the equator above. So India is located in the northern hemisphere. India is located in the northern hemisphere. That's why we have taken that 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitude. 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitudes to 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude. and 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitude to 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitude. This is the location of India. So there is one of the longitude is passing through the middle of the India. One longitude passing through the middle of the India. What is the longitude? 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude. This longitude is passing through the middle of the India. That is 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude is passing through the middle of the. This is passing in Allahabad area. So in Allahabad, so this longitude is passing. This is taken as a Indian Standard Meridian. Or this is taken as a Indian Standard Time. According to 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude, we are following the standard time. We are Indian timing. We are following with this line, that is longitude. 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude is taken. It is the Indian Standard Meridian. Indian Prime Meridian, Indian Standard Meridian. So this is taken as a Indian Standard Time. So according to this longitude, we are following the timing. So comparing to Indian Standard Time, IST, Indian Standard to Greenwich Standard Time, Greenwich or World Standard Time. Greenwich Standard Time or World Standard, Greenwich. So because why we are called as a Greenwich now? So the middle of the longitude. So it is 0 degree longitude is passing through the Greenwich in London. Greenwich in London. So that longitude is taken as a world standard time because of it is the middle of the world. So middle of the world, that longitude is passing. So in London, 0 degree longitude is passing through the Greenwich in London. That is the middle of the longitude. That is the 0 degree longitude. That is taken as a world standard time. So world standard time to Indian standard time now 5.5 hours different. 5.5 hours different from Indian standard time to world standard time now 5.5. Already we studied in the 9th class. See, between longitude to longitude there is a 4 minutes time. What 4 minutes time? When the sun rays are falling onto the one longitude to one longitude, it takes 4 minutes time. So complete timing system we were discussed in 9th class. So what is the timings? So how many time zones? Each time zones already we studied in briefly. We were discussed in the 9th class. From when the sun rays are falling onto the longitude, one longitude to one longitude, 4 minutes it will take time. So that's why what I'm telling here, listen very carefully. Are you listening or not? Listen very carefully. From Indian standard time to world standard time now 5.5 hours different. 5.5 hours time different. Okay, this is the accurate location of India. See, once again I am telling you. So India is located in the northern hemisphere. India is located 8 degrees 4 minutes north latitudes to 37 degrees 6 minutes north latitude, 68 degrees 7 minutes east longitude to 97 degrees 25 minutes east longitude. This is the accurate location of India. So one of the longitude, it is passing through the middle of the India, that is 82 degrees 30 minutes east longitude. It is taken as a Indian Standard Time. So this longitude we have taken as a Indian Standard Time. Okay, right? Do you understand? Right. Now, so this is a complete location of our India. Already we were discussed Indian Standard Time to World Standard Time. Now there is a 5.5 hours different. Okay, now we'll go for another topic, that is location. Already we were discussed already. So the location, do you understand? Right, come to the second topic, geological background. Geological background. What is geography? What is the Indian land mass? How the Indian land, Indian peninsula, Indian subcontinent land mass, how it is formed. Already we were discussed in the 9th, I think second chapter, I think we were discussed how the landforms are formed, how the mountains were formed, how the plateaus, plains, deserts, how the dunes are formed, valleys are formed. We were discussing it very briefly in 9th class. Okay, once you remember. So what we were discussed in 9th, how the landforms are formed, how the mountains were formed, so how the folded mountains, so how the dunes were formed, deltas are formed, how the plateaus are formed, So how the deserts are formed, V-shaped valleys, U-shaped valleys, gorges, how the gorges are formed. So different we were discussed in the ninth class. Once you remember it, come to the point now, geological background. Geological background. Okay, India is a part of Gondwana land. Indian landmass. Indian landmass. It is a part of Gondwana land. So entire the world landmass, entire the world landform. So originated with the two gate of two landforms. One is Angara land, Gondwana land. Are you understand what I'm telling? Okay, listen carefully. Again, I tell you. So entire the world landform. మొత్తం ప్రపంచ భూభాగం అనేది ఎలా ఫామ్ అయ్యింది అంటే, సో టోటల్ ఎంటైర్ ద వరల్డ్ land form originated with two landforms. Do you understand? ప్రపంచ భూభాగం అంతాను కూడా ఈ రెండు ల్యాండ్ ఫామ్స్ అయితే ఫామ్ అయినాయి. ఎంటైర్ ద world landforms are formed or originated with two landforms. One is Angara landform and Gondwana landform. Angara landform and Gondwana landform. Indian peninsula are right. Okay. The entire world landform was formed with two landforms. One is Angara landform and Gondwana landform. See, entire the world landforms are formed with the Gondwana Angara land. Indian peninsula, land piece or Indian landform. This Indian landform, peninsula or Indian subcontinent landform is formed with Gondwana. It is a part of Gondwana land. Indian peninsula, Indian landform, it is a part of Gondwana land. Okay. Like entire the world landform is formed with two landforms, Angara landform, Gondwana landform. So we were studied in the 9th class how the landforms are formed due to erosion, weathering, transportation, deposition. So we were studied in 9th class. Different landforms are formed by different process: weathering process, erosion process, soil erosion process, weathering process, erosion process, transportation, deposition. So with this different landforms are formed. Like that present which are the landforms are located on the located on Earth planet. Which are the landforms are there? Deserts are there, mountains, plateaus, plains, coastal plains. So these total landforms are how these landforms are how it is formed. Already we will discuss it in 9th class. These total landforms are formed so in different process. What geological process? Weathering, erosion, transportation, deposition. With this process, erosion, weathering, transportation, deposition. With this process, different landforms are formed. So which are appearing today. So many in the world, many plateaus are there, plains, mountains. So Mount Everest. Many ranges, mountain ranges, Mount Everest. So Kilimanjaro, many mountains are there, mountains, plateaus, Tibet plateau, Chota Nagpur plateau, Malwa plateau, then Deccan plateaus, plains, northern plains, coastal plains. See, dunes, valleys. So there are many valleys, dunes. So these landforms are formed with weathering, erosion, transportation and deposition. With this landforms are formed. Okay, entire the world landform formed with these two landforms, Angara landform and Gondwana landform. Indian landform, Indian peninsula, Indian land piece. This Indian land piece or Indian land mass, it is a part of Gondwana land. So it is a part of Gondwana land. So how it is formed, let us learn about that. How the Indian land mass was formed. So let us learn about that. Indian land mass was a part of Gondwana land. So nearly Over 200 million years of ago, Gondwana land split into many pieces. This, for example, this is the Gondwana land. This Gondwana land, 200 million years of ago, 200 million years of ago, it is split into many pieces. Split into many, split means scrambled, split, paglipodu. So split into many pieces. So the complete Gondwana land, this is Gondwana land. So enter the word Angara land, Gondwana land. This Gondwana land, Indian landmass, it is a part of Gondwana land. This Gondwana land, 200 million years of ago, split into many pieces. So split means scrambled. So split into many pieces. These many pieces later after many years, these pieces are collided each other. So many pieces are collided each other. One landmass to another landmass collided. Collide means to join. So these pieces were collided. So one land piece to another landmass piece is collided. Or one landmass to another landmass is collided each other. Like that also, Indian landmass, Indian peninsula or Indian subcontinent land, it was collided with Eurasian land. Do you understand? See, in India is Indian landmass. It is a part of Gondwana land. This Gondwana land 200 million years of ago split into many pieces, scrambled. So split into many pieces. So these pieces from many years, so many years later, many pieces are collided each other. One part to another part is collided. One landmass to another landmass is collided. Like that, no? So these Indian landmass from southern hemispheres to move towards northern hemisphere and collide with the Eurasian. Collided with the Eurasian landmass. Collided with the Eurasian. So it was from southern hemisphere to. So Gondwana land is a completely southern hemisphere. So this Gondwana land is split into many pieces. One of the landmass is called Indian landmass. That landmass is moved towards northern hemisphere and moved to north and east. Northeastwards means it is moved toward the northern hemisphere, especially for east. So northeast, it was moved to northeast and collided with the Eurasian plate. Already we studied in 9th class plate, Eurasian plate, Indo-Australian plate. We were discussed already plates. How many tectonic plates? So moving up plates are called tectonic. Like that, we were discussed the plates. Like no, Eurasian. Indian landmass are collided with Eurasian landmass. When Indian landmass, peninsular landmass, when it is collided with Eurasian land, what I am telling, are you listening? Indian landmass moved towards north. Once again, listen carefully. Okay, entire the world landform. Once again, listen. I am repeating. You, especially who are not understanding, listen very carefully. Okay, entire the landforms are formed with two landforms. One is Angara landform, one is Gondwana land. Right? Indian landmass, Indian land. It is a part of Gondwana land. Already I said. I taught already. Indian landmass, it is a part of Gondwana land. 200 million years of ago, this Gondwana land is split into many pieces, cut into like many pieces like that. Many pieces are divided. So one of the land piece, that is Indian land. So it is moved towards the, so Angara land is also same, split into many pieces. So Indian landmass is moved toward the north hemisphere, that is northeast. northeast direction, it was moved and collided with the Eurasian land. So it was collided. Indian land mass is collided with the Eurasian land mass. By in this process, when colliding process, when Indian last man and Eurasian landmass, when it is joined, colliding time, when it is in this process, no, folded mountains are formed. Folded mountains are formed. So due to pressure, so when Indian landmass, Eurasian landmass, when it is joining, ఒకదానికి ఒక తాకినప్పుడు కలుసుకున్నప్పుడు, when it is colliding, when it is joined, no, so due to pressure, no, between the land, which is the land between the Eurasian and Indian landmass. So with this pressure, no, one landform was formed, that is mountains are formed. So when Indian land mass, Eurasian land mass, when it is Indian land mass move towards the northeast and joined with the Eurasian land mass, when it is joined or when it is collided, so folded mountains were formed. So the folded mountains, what are the folded mountains present? Himalayan mountains. So Himalayan mountains are formed. So when it is Himalayan mountains are formed, when the Indian land mass moved towards northeast and collided with Eurasian land mass, when it is collided, no, folded mountains are formed. Present mountains are Himalayan mountains. So Himalayan mountains were formed like that. Himalayan mountains. So Himalayan mountains, we know that. So next coming chapter we will discuss very briefly about the Himalayan mountains. Okay, Himalayan mountains are formed. Then the foot of the Himalayan mountains, no, completely basin. So the basin is filled with alluvium soil because of Himalayan mountains are very height. So there are many rivers are originated in the Himalayan mountains. When the water flows from high ranges to low range, now this river system is brought many pebbles, alluvium, fertility, soil, and deposited in the foot of the mountains, and plains were formed. And so in peninsula, no, completely Deccan plateaus are formed. Deccan Plateau is formed. So India, we have a good coastal line already. So Deccan Plateau like this, we have a good coastal line. So plateaus are formed like that. So that when it is collided, no, Indian land mass collided with the Eurasian land mass, no, mountains are formed, and the plains were formed, and plateaus were formed. So this is the geological background of Indian land mass or Indian peninsular land mass. So this is the geographical background. Already we discussed the location, geological background of India. Now coming to the major physical divisions or relief divisions. So what are the major relief divisions in our India? So India is also called as a subcontinent. India is also called as a subcontinent. So what is mean subcontinent? Continent. So we know that we have 7 continents. So India is called as a subcontinent because what are the features are required for one continent? No, all the features are available in India. That's why India is also called as a subcontinent. Now come to the what are the physical features of our India? So the major relief divisions are major physical divisions or relief features of our India. Let us learn about that. First one is the Himalayan mountains. Already we know that. Just now I said no, I taught no just now. So how the Himalayan mountains are formed? How the Himalayan mountains were formed? Because of Indian land mass collided with Eurasian land mass. When it is colliding process, no, folded mountains were formed. Okay, that is Himalayan mountains. Second one is Indo-Gangetic plains. Indo-Gangetic plains. The flat surface on the earth is called plains. So the Indo-Gangetic plains. How the Indo-Gangetic, Indus-Gangetic, Ganga. So the Indo-Gangetic plains. So the Indo-Gangetic plain. This is one of the physical division of our India. Next, peninsular plateau. Indian plateau. Indian plateau system. We will discuss very briefly Indian plateau system. So the chapter is very interesting chapter and very important chapter. This is most of the questions before last year. So last year no exams, no. So before last year, no, many questions, 1 mark questions and 2 marks question, 4 mark question from this chapter. Listen very carefully. If you are not understand, please once you make a call to me and I'll explain you. If you are not understand, you have any doubts, please call me and I'll explain you. But listen very carefully. Don't neglect. And what I taught. So you note down in your notebook, especially you allot for one notebook for social studies. So important points you note, you write onto the notebook and you show me through this. You have one WhatsApp group, no? Through a group you send what you written in that. Okay, right? Come to the topic here. Indo-Gangetic Plain, the Peninsular Plateau, and Peninsular Plateau, the coastal plains. So I said already, we have a good coastal plains. See. We have a good coastal plains. We have a good coastal line, broad. We have a good sea trade also, and we have a good fishing because of see that now Indian Ocean, Arabian Sea, and Bay of Bengal. Peninsula. What is the meaning of peninsula? 3 sides of water. One side is landform. 3 sides of water. See here Arabian Sea, here Bay of Bengal, here Indian Ocean. So we have a vast coastal line. We have a vast coastal line. We have a good sea trade also. We have a good fishing. So vast coastal line. Then coastal plains, the desert, Thar desert. So in desert topic we will discuss very carefully what is the vegetation, the life of who are living in desert. So what is the natural vegetation in desert? We will discuss very briefly. Very interesting chapter, that is a very interesting topic. Next, coming to that, sixth one is the islands. So, Andaman Nicobar Islands, Lakshadweep Islands. Once you see the world map, once you see the world map and India map, so you are using, I think, mobiles. So in mobiles, once you what are the islands in our India? Once you see, once you Google it, so islands are available. Okay, we have a islands, Lakshadweep Islands, Andaman Nicobar Islands. So islands we will discuss. Now come to the first one is the Himalayan mountains. So Himalayan mountains. So let us learn about the brief information about the Himalayan mountains. Okay, sir. Once use. Right. See. First one is the Himalayan mountains. So Himalayan mountains. So listen carefully. Where is the Himalayan mountains located? We know that. So once you see the Indian map, Indian physical features, Indian physical map. Once you see that. So where is Himalayan mountains are located? Himalayan mountains are extended from Jammu and Kashmir to up to the Arunachal Pradesh. Are you listening? Jammu and Kashmir to up to the Arunachal Pradesh. So, do you have idea? I think. So, Jammu and Kashmir to up to Arunachal Pradesh. It is extended from Jammu to Arunachal Pradesh. So, these Himalayan mountains are run west to east directions. West to east directions. So Himalayan mountains are extended from Jammu and Kashmir to up to the Arunachal Pradesh. What is the direction of Himalayan mountains is west to eastward directions. These Himalayan mountains now so extend nearly 2,400 kilometers from Jammu and Kashmir to up to the Arunachal Pradesh. It is 2,400 kilometers Himalayan mountains. The complete the length. So from Jammu and Kashmir to up to the Arunachal Pradesh, no, 2,400 kilometers. So what is the width? The width of Himalayan mountains is so that is nearly 500 kilometers in western area. For example, this is west to eastward direction. West to east. The Himalayan mountains are extended from Jammu to up to the Arunachal Pradesh. No? So in west area. So the complete Jammu, Himachal Pradesh areas, then Himachal Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh, these areas no, areas means from west areas now, that is 500 kilometers width. So in west part no, Himalayan mountains, so extended from Jammu and Kashmir to Arunachal Pradesh, nearly 2,400 kilometers, the complete length of the Himalayan mountains. So west to east directions. So in the western part no, that is 500 kilometers in the west part. In central part no, 200 kilometers. In central part 200 kilometers, and the eastern part area also 200 kilometers. In west area, in the western part of Himalayan mountains, so the complete Himalayan mountains, from west to east direction, in west side, that is the width of the Himalayan mountains is 500 kilometers. Central 200 kilometers, and eastern, the edge of the Himalayan mountains also, the width of the Himalayan mountains is 200 kilometers. Okay, these Himalayan mountains are comprises of 3 parallel ranges. The Himalayan mountains are comprises of 3 ranges. That are what are the 3 ranges? Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. 3 ranges. Himalayan mountains are comprises of 3 ranges. What are the 3 ranges? One is Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. Himadri range is also called as a Greater Himalayas. Himachal range is also called as a Lesser Himalayas. Then Shivalik. So Himalayan mountains are comprises of 3 parallel ranges. The Himalayan mountains are consist of 3 parallel ranges, 3 ranges. So these ranges are divided with dunes, divided with valleys. Okay, Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. So these are the 3 Himalayan mountains. Once again I am repeating you, especially for who are not understanding. Listen very carefully. Okay, the Himalayan mountains are comprises of 3 ranges. Himadri, Himachal, Shivalik. Himadri range is also called as a Greater Himalayas, Himachal Lesser Himalayas, and Shivalik. These are the 3 ranges. Himalayan mountains are 3. Are you listening? 3 ranges. Okay. First, now let us learn about the Himadri range. So this Himadri range is also called as the Greater Himalayas. So this Himadri range, it is a continuous range. It is a continuous range. So then it is consisting of many peaks. Highest peaks are located in this range only. Himadri range, it is a highest range. Highest range. The elevation of this Himadri range is nearly 6,100 meters from the sea level. Do you understand? From the sea level, the height of the Himadri range is 6,100 meters from the sea level. From the sea level, the height of the Himadri range is 6,100 meter height. 6,100 meters height from the sea level, this range. So in this range only, there is many highest peaks are located in this range only. What are the highest peaks? Mount Everest, K2, Kanchenjunga, Dhaulagiri, Annapurna, Mahakalu, like these mountains. Peaks, highest peaks, Shikaralu in Telugu. So the highest peaks located in this range only, Himadri range only. Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Mahakalu, Dhaulagiri, Annapurna, like that, which are the highest peaks, that peaks are located in this Himadri range. What is the high elevation of this Himadri range is from the sea level, 6,100 meters height above from the sea level. This range is completely covered with ice and snow. Ice and snow because of the snow falls. The snow falls onto the Himadri range, the completely covered with ice and snow. So no plants will grow in this, completely covered with ice and snow. It's a very beautiful this range. Ice and snow completely covered, and many glaciers are formed. Glaciers. So the moving of ice slabs are called as glaciers. So many glaciers are there. Glaciers are glaciers. So many glaciers are formed in these Himadri ranges. These glaciers are melting due to the cycle of atmosphere, due to sun rays. So in rainy season, ice falls onto the Himadri range. When the summer starts, due to when the temperature, when the atmosphere changes, when the sun rays are falls, no, what happened? The glaciers are melting. When glaciers are made, no, it is the sources of many rivers. There are many perennial rivers are originated in this Himadri range only. What are the perennial rivers? Do you know? Please. So Ganga, Brahmaputra, Sindhu. These are the perennial rivers are originated in Himadri ranges only. So how these rivers are originated? Because of glaciers are melted. When the glaciers are melted, no, it is so the water flows and many small streams. These small streams become as a big streams. These big streams are joined into the many big streams and canals and formed as a many rivers. So already how the Ganga formed we will discuss in 5th chapter very briefly. So then Himadri range. So there are many perennial rivers are originated in Himadri ranges only because of glaciers are melted. By melting, it is the sources for many rivers. Many rivers are originated in this Himadri range only. See, once like this perennial rivers. So Himadri, Himachal, and Shivalik. Shivalik range. Himadri range, no, see, highest from the sea level, no, 6,100 kilometers, 6,100 meters height above from the sea level. Okay, in this range, no, next one is Himachal. So, the southern part of Himadri range, there is a one more range, that is Himachal range. Himachal range. The southern part of Himadri range is called Himachal range. What is the relief feature of this Himachal range? You know, completely rugged relief features. Completely rugged relief features. So what is the rugged relief features now? This range is also called as the Lesser Himalayas. Lesser Himalayas. What is the physical feature of this range? No, completely rugged relief features. Rugged means compressed many rocks. See, Himadri range, no, completely covered with ice and snow. What I am telling here, Himadri range is what is the physical features of Himadri range, you know, completely covered with ice and snow. So next come to the Himachal, no, what is the physical feature of Himachal, no, completely rocks, compressed rocks, rugged relief features, complete rocks. So like vegetation, plants, trees are growing that. So Himachal range, completely rocks. Okay, in this now compressed rocks, the height now, this range height is 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. The high elevation of Himachal or Lesser Himalayas elevation is from the sea level 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. Some areas 3,500, some areas are 3,700, some areas no 4,500, like that. 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters height above from the sea level. What is the elevation? This Himachal or Lesser Himalayas high elevation is 3,700 to 4,500 meters. So Himadri range 6,100 meters above from the sea level. This is the highest range in Himalayan mountain. See, highest peaks also located in the Himadri range only. Now second one, we are discussing second one, that is Himachal range, Lesser Himalayas. Lesser Himalayas, no, the high elevation of Lesser Himalayas, no, 3,700 meters to 4,500 meters. Okay, this what is the physical feature of this range? Now, completely rugged relief features, compressed rocks in this. Okay, in this now this is contents of many ranges also. This Himachal range consisting of many ranges. What are the ranges? No, Mahabharata range. Very important. This is one mark question also. So choose the correct answer also. Mahabharata range. Okay, right? Here I am writing. See once. Mahabharata range. Mahabharata range and Pir Panjal range. Mahabharata range and Pir Panjal range. Pir Panjal range. Mahabharata range and Pir Panjal. Remember that. So note down. Mahabharata range, Piripanjal range. These two ranges are located in Himachal range. Lesser Himalayas. Mahabharata range. One more question this is. Mahabharata range, Piripanjal range located in Himachal or lesser Himalayas. Piripanjal range, Mahabharata range. These two ranges are very important. Mahabharata range, Piripanjal range. ఈ రెండు రేంజెస్ ఎక్కడ ఉన్నాయి నాయన అంటే హిమాచల్ range or less, not Himachal Pradesh, Himachal range or lesser Himalayas. In this range, no, these two ranges are also there. Okay, so right now in this range, in this lesser Himalayas, no, there are many famous valleys are there. In Himachal range or lesser Himalayas, no, very famous valleys are there. Very famous valleys. What are the famous valleys? No, very famous valleys. So Kashmiri Valley in Kashmir, Kashmiri Valley, Kashmiri Valley. So Kangra Valley. Next Kulu valleys. So in Himachal Pradesh, Kashmir, Kangra, Kulu. So it is in Himachal. Very famous valleys. Kashmiri Valley, Kulu, Kangra. These are the famous valleys. Beautiful valleys. Very beautiful valleys. Kashmir Valley, Kangra Valley, Kulu valleys. These are the very famous valleys are located in this. And in this range only, very important this is. Second one, in this range only, famous hill stations. Remember that these are the famous valleys. Mahabharata, Piripanjal ranges are the ranges. Once again, what I am telling here. In lesser Himalayas, no, famous ranges are there. That is Mahabharata range, Piripanjal range. These two, Mahabharata range, Piripanjal range. Do you understand? So next, in this range only, famous valleys are there. These are the famous valleys. What are the famous valleys? Kashmir, Kangra, Kulu. These are the famous valleys. Do you understand? Next, no, famous hill stations also located in this range. Famous hill stations. What are the famous hill stations? No, Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Ranikhet, etc. So these are the famous hill stations. Shimla, Ranikhet, Mussoorie, Nainital. So these are the famous hill stations are located. Famous hill stations are located in the Himachal range, lesser Himalayas. Himachal range or lesser Himalayas. These are the famous hill stations. Shimla, Ranikhet, Mussoorie, Nainital. These are the famous hill stations. Remember very carefully. Please note down in your notebook. Famous hill stations. Next, these are the famous valleys. So these are the famous ranges. Okay, this is about the second range, that is Himachal range. So in next class we will discuss about the Shivalik range, and then we will discuss about the Indo-Gangetic plains. Okay, thank you for your listening. So please note down very carefully and prepare the notes. So read. So very soon we are going to conduct one test. Thank you.